to their news focus. Sarawak's economic capabilities draw global attention. Flood victims returning home can request assistance. 3 flood mitigation project packages in Kuching. Good evening. Sarawak's ability to shape a new economic landscape continues to capture global attention. Sarawak Premier Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Datuk Abang Openg stated that Sarawak is now on a strong path to becoming a leader in the new economy, particularly in the areas of green energy, hydrogen exports and medical innovation. He noted that this was evident when he received an invitation from the IC's Yusuf Isha Institute in Singapore to share Sarawak's insight on renewable energy development.
With your support, commercial community support, I think we can develop further our economy based on the new direction and the new economy. Termasuklah ini pasal hidrogen ini. Jadi tuan-tuan, I must say that we are very fortunate we can share our view with the world, with our partners. God willing, on the 10th, I have been invited by Singapore Yusuf Isha Institute to give a public lecture on our economy and also on the direction of our renewable energy.
He made these remarks during the Chinese New Year celebration hosted by the Federation of Chinese Association in Cebu on Saturday. In addition, Datuk Petinggi Abang Zohari emphasized the importance of Sarawak's economic diversification efforts. He stressed that the focus is no longer limited to traditional natural resources, but also on industries based on biodiversity and renewable energy.
Tidak lagi macam dulu lah. Sekarang pun pokok kita tidak mau tebang. Kalau dulu tebang pokok, sekarang kita tanam pokok. Because there is a new trade in that. We call it carbon trading. Ini pokok jadi store for carbon, and ini adalah satu komoditi and no longer potong pokok. Jadi ini adalah the new economy that we are promoting, and I'm sure Cebu people with experience. Tadi saya baca translation of His Excellency punya speech, the big Fuchao and the small Fuchao. They will continue to work together and build our economy.
The flood situation in the Petrajaya parliamentary area is showing positive improvement, with water levels gradually receding to normal. As a result, 2 temporary evacuation centres, PPS in the area, PPS Dewan Segadup and PPS Dewan Sejijak, will be officially closed, allowing flood victims housed there to return to their homes. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof stated that residents who had been relocated within the locality could request manpower assistance to help with clean-up efforts, particularly those who have been significantly impacted by the flood.
Masing-masing boleh pulang ke rumah, dan siapa-siapa yang memerlukan bantuan untuk mencuci dan sebagainya, kalau tiada kemampuan, tenaga dan sebagainya, bolehlah berhubung dengan sekretariat ataupun pihak parti PBB, khususnya di kawasan diwakili oleh PBB, dan kita akan menyediakan sukarelawan untuk membantu membersihkan rumah-rumah mereka, khususnya para pemuda PBB. Okey.
He said during an interview with reporters following his visit to PPS Dewan Haji Kamarudin Kampung Segadup on Saturday. It is understood that all 60 victims from 25 families at PPS Dewan Haji Kamarudin Kampung Segadup, as well as 178 victims from 68 families at PPS SK Sejijak, will be permitted to return to their respective home. With the closure of both evacuation centre, the Member of Parliament for Putrajaya took the opportunity to express his appreciation to all to the response agencies for their unwavering commitment, ensuring that rescue operations were carried out smoothly. 3 packages under the flood mitigation project in the city must be carried out simultaneously, with the initial cost expected to exceed 1 billion ringgit. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadila Yusof stated that the objective of this project is to reduce flooding issues in Kuching and nearby areas such as Bau.
Tapi kita sedar bahawa di Kuching kita masih ada lagi satu projek tebatan banjir yang sedang dalam proses untuk dimuktamadkan tender, yang kita sedang berbincang dengan Kementerian Ekonomi disebabkan peruntukan yang lebih besar. Ada 3 package projek yang kena dilaksanakan. Satu ialah kanal, yang kedua ialah jambatan dan yang ketiga ialah baraj yang kita kena sediakan. Jadi peruntukan itu agak besar, melebihi 1 bilion. Dengan peruntukan yang sedia ada belum mencukupi sebab kita nak laksanakan ketiga-tiga package. Dia tak boleh dilaksanakan secara berasingan.
He made these remarks during a media interview after visiting the Temporary Evacuation Centre (PPS) at Sekolah Kebangsaan Sejijak here on Saturday. The Minister of Energy Transition and Water Transformation expressed hope that the allocation will be finalised this year to expedite the project's implementation.
Jadi diharapkan dapat dimuktamadkan tahun ini, dan kalau projek ini dapat dilaksanakan, insya-Allah bahagian Kuching ini kita dapat kurangkan kejadian banjir di bahagian Kuching. Khususnya termasuklah bila Kuching, termasuklah di Bau dan sebagainya, sebab aliran air akan lebih banyak lagi untuk kita cepat keluarkan aliran air daripada hulu bila berlakunya musim air pasang besar.
Earlier, the Member of Parliament for Putrajaya also visited the PPS at Dewan Haji Kamaruddin Kampung Segeduk. Both evacuation centres were officially closed after the water level in the affected residential areas returned to normal. The flood situation in Sarawak shows signs of improvement, with 12 temporary evacuation centres (PPS) having been closed since last night. According to Sarawak Deputy Premier, who is also the chairman of Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee (SDMC), Dato' Ahmad Douglas Uga Embas, the number of PPS still in operation now stands at 63, accommodating 3,722 families and 12,402 victims.
Bagi yang tutup adalah 7 di Kuching, 1 di Serian, 1 di Seratok, 3 di Sibu, di mana melibatkan 972 mangsa dan KR progresi remah 287. So nampaknya keadaan bertambah baik. Jadi kita ucap terima kasih kepada semua jentera kerajaan, jentera SDMC yang telah turun padang dengan tidak mengira hujan dan panas to evacuate mangsa-mangsa. So far, progress are good. Most of those people that has to be moved has been moved. There are some villages yang terputus jalan, tapi tidak banjir. But because the jalan terputus, maka mereka susah cari makan, and we have made a decision that kebajikan will supply them the food, and they're going on all over the place yesterday.
He made the remarks when speaking to reporters after visiting and inspecting the PPS at SK Sampun Tebun, Asajaya on Thursday. Additionally, he mentioned that the Public Work Department, JKR, has been instructed to assess and repair roads damaged by the floods.
But whatever problem we face today, it is a lesson for the committee to improve the facilities pada masa akan datang. Kita terima kasih kepada Yang Maha Timbalan Perdana Menteri yang telah mengumumkan nak memikirkan membina pusat pembinaan sementara permanent, maknanya tidak menggunakan sekolah ataupun tempat-tempat awam. We are working on it. Now dah berapa Pak Presiden?
Permanent is we going to build one in Brady.
SK Brady, and we're looking at the various places.
Dato' Amar Douglas also added that the government is currently evaluating other suitable locations for this purpose, especially in the areas frequently affected by floods. In another development to prepare for the potential second wave of floods, as the MC has been in a state of readiness since last November, extending until this coming March. He explained that all relevant agencies have been directed to remain on high alert, including ensuring the availability of equipment, manpower, as well as food and welfare assistance. While he hoped the situation continues to improve, he remains prepared for all possibility should the floods return. The importance of opening discussing sexual and reproductive health education can be overstated, as it plays a key role in ensuring that teenagers receive accurate information and make informed, responsible decisions. Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, Dato' Sri Nancy Shukri, stressed the need for transparency on the topic, noting that in today's world of increasing global culture influence and unlimited access to digital information, avoiding this conversation only leads to misinformation.
Conversations around sexual and reproductive health can no longer be avoided or considered taboo. If we do not address these topics openly, misinformation will fill the gap. Parents, educators, and communities must take the lead in guiding our children towards informed, responsible choices.
His remarks come amid a rise in teenage pregnancy cases across Malaysia, with 44,263 cases reported in the past 5 years, of which 17,646 involve unmarried young mothers. Dato' Sri Nancy emphasized that combating teenage pregnancy requires more than reactive measures. It calls for comprehensive early education to prevent the issues before it arises.
In the past 5 years, Malaysia recorded 44,263 cases of teenage pregnancies, of which 17,646 involved unmarried teenage mothers. These numbers are not just statistics. They represent lives, dreams, and futures that deserve our care and attention.
She also highlighted that sexual health education is not solely the government's responsibility. It requires a coordinated effort from parents, schools, non-governmental organizations, and the community at large. In response, her ministry has collaborated with various government agencies and community organizations to bolster awareness programs and implement a more effective sexual health education initiatives. The Dawn Hope initiatives, she explains, goes beyond being a shelter for girls in need. It offers counseling, mental health support, education, and vocational training to help affected teenage girls rebuild their lives.
Continued education and skills training break the cycle of vulnerability and unlock opportunities for a brighter future.
And that's the English edition with me, Stephanie Jores. More news can be found on the official portal ukas.sarawak.gov.my and social media platforms including Facebook and YouTube. Ending the UKAS Bulletin with coverage of the Chinese New Year celebration organized by the Federation of Chinese Association in Cebu on Saturday. #Selamat Informasi Rakyat. Have a good night.